So now it's time to create our website. And to do that, you're going to need a couple of things. First thing you're going to need is a domain name, and then you're going to need hosting. Now, domain name is just your website address, so your .com, .net or .org or whatever extension that you choose. I personally highly recommend choosing a .com if you can, but the domain name is basically your address for your site. So if we, on the website that I'm on now, is a web hosting provider or company, and their domain name is siteground.com. So you're going to need a domain name just like that, but focused around your niche or the name that you've chosen. And then you're going to need hosting. Now hosting allows you to put your website online, so it is on an online server. That way it can project online and people can visit it and browse through it through their browser. That's just a simple explanation of it. So basically you need a domain name and some hosting. Now for this you're going to need around about $100. The reason for that is because your domain name is about $14 or so if you're going to register it through the same company, which I highly recommend doing just to save some hassles and headaches. Then you're going to need your hosting, which is going to be billed annually, and that's going to cost you around about the $80 mark. Now if you go to this address up here, which is siteground.com/go/half price, you will get hosting at half price. It's got here 50% off the regular price on each of these plans. So I highly recommend you do that, and maybe if you want to open up a new browser and follow along with me. Now you might be looking at the cheapest plan, and a lot of the time when you're just starting out, that's probably going to be the most attractive plan for you. I highly recommend going for the second one or the third one. Now if you're brand new, the second Grow Big plan is probably sufficient enough for you. The reason why is later on you might want to create other websites, and as you can see with the small plan you can only have one website. You only get 10 gigabytes of web space, and it's suitable for only 10,000 visitors per month. Now when you're just starting out, you're probably not going to get 10,000 visitors a month, but once you start growing and you start getting a good volume of visitors, you're going to quickly outgrow this plan and you're going to end up upgrading anyway. Now another good thing about the other two plans is, the two bigger plans is, they have all the features enabled. So you've got free site transfer, 24/7 support, free app installs, free email accounts, unmetered traffic. You get a free SSL certificate for your websites. Now each time that you create a website, so if you have multiple websites, you can simply use their Let's Encrypt plugin, which installs a SSL certificate, which these days is very important because Google is starting to favor websites that have a secure SSL certificate. So, and it's going to be important, especially if you're collecting emails and you've got forms and things like that on your website, which we'll talk about later on in future videos. But you also get a free website builder, which you probably won't really need for this example. SSD storage, 30-day money-back guarantee. You get free daily backups, which is really important. A free Cloudflare CDN and unlimited MySQL databases. So, and with the bigger plan, you just get a few extra perks. You can go through those. You can click on here and it'll take you through each one of their features. Have a read through it, and just have a good think about what you want and what you're going to need later on, and choose which plan that you want. So you've got all these options here. It tells you a bit about their hosting. And another good thing about Siteground is they have one-click WordPress installs. Now, I highly recommend you build your website on WordPress, on the WordPress platform. It's a content management system. It is fairly easy to use. Once you get the hang of it, it's really, really powerful. But I'm going to be doing videos showing you guys how to create your website using WordPress. So if you want to follow along with this video series, I highly recommend Siteground as your hosting provider and your domain name registrar. Now, the other reason why Siteground are so good is because they are they're actually the fastest hosting provider that I've used for these small sites. Now, when you want to go even faster, you're looking at bigger money. But for these affiliate websites that I'm teaching you guys how to make, this hosting service, Siteground, is by far the fastest that I've had, and their customer support is absolutely amazing. They're very friendly, very professional, and they're very fast. You can jump on live chat and you can be talking to someone very quickly or chatting with them, and they've also got a phone number you can ring as well. Now, because we're using WordPress, another reason why to use Siteground is because WordPress themselves even recommend Siteground as one of their preferred hosts. And that way you're guaranteed that your WordPress installation is going to be 100% compatible with their hosting service. And plus, if they're recommending them, that means they must be pretty good, right? Because they're the actual software that you're going to be using, so you might as well go with a hosting company that they recommend as well. Now, as for the other two, DreamHost, I haven't used. I have heard good and bad things about them. Do I recommend them? I can't say because I haven't used them. Bluehost, however, I personally have used them. I've never had any trouble with them. They are a little bit cheaper. I'll leave a link in the description and in the video, and you can go and check them out. I'll leave a discount link for those as well. But I will say that over the years, their customer support has sort of deteriorated a little bit. Now, which one's better? I highly recommend Siteground because they're just so much faster and their support is superior amongst every host that I've used. So definitely go and check Bluehost out if you're interested in saving. I think they're like $1 cheaper, and per month that is. So you are saving a little bit. You're saving like $12 or so. But if you want fast hosting, which is really important these days, definitely go with Siteground. And another thing that Siteground has over Bluehost is they have Let's Encrypt, and you can get a SSL certificate for free with your domains. So if we go back here, again, I highly recommend going with the Grow Big plan or the Go Geek. The Grow Big plan is definitely good for people just starting out. Now, it all depends on your budget and what you want to spend, but using the 50% off promo, you can save a lot of money. Now, to get started, all you have to do is click Get Started. You'll then get taken to this page here, and it says here domain registration is $29.95, but that's only because of a .com.au. But if you choose a .com, which I highly recommend choosing, it's only $14.95 a year. So that's for a whole year. Your website domain name has been registered. So then all you got to do is find a domain name that's available. Now, a lot of the names that you think of or try and pick are probably going to be taken. So, there's a few ways around it. You can think of a new domain name, or think of different variations of that name, or add a number to it, things like that. Another thing you want to do is make sure it's not trademarked. You don't want to go for big brands and try and copy their names. But yeah, just think of something original, something that's going to suit your niche or your website idea. So for this example, I'm just going to enter something, your cool domain name. Now that may be already taken, who knows? Okay, so that's actually available, and it says, congratulations, domain yourcooldomainname.com is available for registration with your hosting account. So of course this would be your domain name, whatever you chose, and if it was available, this is the screen that would come up. Now this is where you start creating your account and entering in your payment details. So what you do is put your email in, create a password and confirm it. Then choose your country or location, put your name, last name and your address. You can leave all these ones down here blank. If the ones without asterisks you don't have to enter. But then you would put your card number, like your Visa or MasterCard or whatever you've got. Enter the details in here. Now for this section here, this is your plan that you've chosen. Grow Big was the one I suggested. Now you can change that on this page. It just changes the price. But this part here is what you need to take note of. That's the data center. Now, if you click on this button here, it brings up the drop down menu. And I normally go with USA. Now the reason for that is all my visitors that I normally target are in the USA. So the data center is basically where they have all their servers in that location, and people around the USA and close to that data server are going to get served my website a lot faster. So if my target audience was in UK, for example, I would choose the London, UK data center. That way they get served my website faster, where people in America or in Australia or wherever may be a fraction slower. So that's just something to think about when choosing your data center. Now you just leave it as 12 months. You can do 24 or 36. And then down here we've got domain privacy. Now domain privacy protects your, so if you choose that, it's going to add onto the cart, of course, for $12 a year. And what that's going to do is prevent your details that you've entered in here, like your name and address and phone number. It's going to prevent that from going in the Whois database. So whenever you create a website, your information gets put online, so people can contact you if they need to about your site. But if you pay extra and get domain privacy, you can stop that from happening and prevent it from displaying online so everyone can see it. Now, does it really matter? If you don't want to get emails and spammed, well, sure. But if you don't want to spend the $12, you don't really have to worry about it. I normally, for a lot of my sites, I do have it. That's just because I like to keep a lot of my stuff private. Also, like, I do have some that don't have it. They're the ones that I don't really worry about. But yeah, you can, that's up to you whether you want to choose domain privacy or not. The Siteground site scanner, I wouldn't really worry about that. I don't normally opt in for it. There are plugins that you can install in your WordPress, but yeah, it's just an extra cost that you probably don't need. So once you've done that, so this is going to cost, for me in Australia, it's going to cost around $115, and that's because I pay GST and it's in Australian dollars. So once you've done that, you simply click on the box that you've confirmed that you agree to Siteground's terms and services and hit the Pay Now button. So once you've done that, you will get taken to, it'll process your payment, and then you'll get taken to a login page where you enter your email and password that you created. You'll also get an email saying with your details and welcoming you to Siteground. Just read that and follow along. But that's pretty much the whole process. You've just bought a domain name and you've bought some hosting. So the next step after that is creating your WordPress website, and it is a lot easier than what you think, but I will show you that in the next video. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out the links to grab the half price discount for Siteground, and I'll also leave a link if you want to check out Bluehost as well. So thanks for watching and have a great day.